why are we getting two different versions of The Mummy?
What does that even mean?
BLUMHOUSE just released their first trailer for The Mummy, and that's not to be confused with Universal's upcoming sequel to The Mummy. But what's surprising here is that Universal and BLUMHOUSE have a partnership together. So what happened? Well, the first Mummy horror film was made by Universal in 1932. It came right after the success of Frankenstein and Dracula. It would spawn 4 sequels in just 4 years, and even an Abbott and Costello spin-off. So while Universal very much invented and created mummy movies, they never actually owned the title or concept. The word mummy derives from the Persian word mum, which means to wax medicinally. Mum turned into mumia in Arabic, and then momi in Old French. Unlike Frankenstein and Dracula, mummies aren't from a single novel. It comes from a long history of 19th century literature obsessed with Egypt and archaeology and ancient curses. So in 1959, Hammer Films was able to make The Mummy, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, which is easily just as popular and beloved as the original. Years would go by and dozens of mummy movies would be made, losing popularity. And by the 1990s, it was a completely abandoned concept. Until 1999's The Mummy from Universal starring Brendan Fraser, a giant success that spawned 2 sequels, a whole spin-off franchise, theme park rides, and video games. By 2017, the franchise would become dormant again, and Universal would try to reboot the series with Tom Cruise. More importantly, this would be an attempt at a dark cinematic universe. The Mummy would end with a teaser for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They had plans for a Javier Bardem Bride of Frankenstein film, and a Johnny Depp-led Invisible Man film. But because The Mummy wasn't the critical success they hoped for, Universal scrapped the whole idea, and dumped off the Invisible Man to Blumhouse Pictures. See, Blumhouse and Universal were in the middle of a 10-year production deal. The Purge, Black Phone, Megan, they made a lot of successful franchises together. But with that deal now up, and with a pretty unsuccessful year from Blumhouse, aside from Five Nights at Freddy's, this partnership could be dwindling. Blumhouse is making Lee Cronin's The Mummy for Warner Brothers, and Universal is making a completely separate movie that's a sequel to the Brendan Fraser Mummy series from 1999. Which are you more excited for? And what's your favorite mummy movie?